The very first time that my therapist talked to me about trying some behaviours that I'd been avoiding, I was very resistant. We talked a lot about what might happen, because there was a lot of uncertainty in the things I was refusing to do. So, for example, I had said, I can't eat in front of anyone else because they will take the food away. So we would talk about, okay, what will happen? How will that happen? What will you be thinking when that happens? How will you feel when that happens? And we did have to talk about it for a long time before I actually agreed to do it. When I agreed, I think we came to a compromise. He had suggested I did something and I moved it back a little bit, and I said, well, I can't do that, but maybe I'll just do this. So, for example, no, I can't eat a full meal with my family, but maybe I could have tea and biscuits first and just see how it goes. And I wrote it down, and that was something we did often in therapy. I wrote it down. That was like a commitment. And quite often he wrote it down as well, so that I knew when I went back the next week, he would go, okay, so we wrote this down, and how has this gone? So I knew I had to do it. I made that commitment. What made it easier to keep that commitment was that I knew I could go back the next week and talk about it. It was like a safety net. It wasn't just that I would try something and it might be awful and I couldn't take that risk. I could take that risk because I knew I had some support and would find something else. When I was discussing any experiment with my therapist beforehand and planning it, I would write down what my predicted thoughts and feelings would be. One of the very interesting things for me was that actually they weren't always what I thought, what I had predicted. In fact, they usually weren't as bad. And that was a really important lesson, so that not only did I discover that my predictions about how my thoughts were going to be and how bad I would feel and how I would have to run to escape from the situation, none of those predictions were actually totally true. But over time, as I learnt that and I practiced more, the thoughts reduced anyway. I suddenly had the realization that actually, if they did think I shouldn't have the food, what did that matter anyway? And it was very freeing for me because I realized I didn't have to be prisoner to these thoughts anymore. Because maybe it was a thought, it's just a mental event. Maybe I didn't have to think that thought because it was sort of, so what? I am okay and I can have this food if I choose to.